It's the year of the awkward transition. I told you it is back, and it doesn't smell well at Tropicana Field right now. And I'm not talking about the actual ballpark. It smells fantastic. It's been renovated. It's beautiful. I don't care what anybody says online. I've seen some tweets.
It's got a crack in it, though.
You know what else it has? It has a speakeasy.
Well, it had a lot
I had no idea it had a speakeasy.
I did know that. It has a lot of Cubs fans. It had a lot of Cubs fans over this series.
Well, it was gross.
Yeah.
It was gross.
It was.
We need to go again soon and see this. I need to see the speakeasy.
Yeah.
All right. I want to get a drink at the speakeasy.
I went into the club. It looked awesome. That's upgraded too. Everything looks fantastic. But I was actually, this is one of the first times I've ever done this at the Trop. I was sitting there with my mother, huge Rays fan, and Pete Crow Armstrong hit a bomb, and that place went ballistic. And I had to look around because it wasn't just down where the visiting fans are sitting. It's everywhere. Everywhere.
Yeah, the visiting fans were sitting everywhere. That's the problem.
Everywhere.
A lot of times they line up on the third base side behind that dugout because, of course, that's where their team is.
And
but
it's loud,
everywhere.
and it sucks, man. It sucks.
Yeah.
When you're at your home ballpark and you just got back, and forget even if you're not just back, anytime you're at your home ballpark, and you realize that a major city, the fan base is drowning out the regular fans, the home fans, that sucks. I mean, there's no other way. There's no other way to put it. It sucks.
And I think it's harder and gets harder when you're not playing well. It's hard to get people excited to come out to the ballpark when you're not playing well. And I'm very concerned if this season goes in the tank, if they continue to play the kind of baseball they're playing. Mentioned it earlier, 17 errors in 12 games so far for this Rays club. If they continue to play that brand of sloppy baseball, my concern is it's going to get worse and worse, especially when, for instance, like tomorrow night when the Yankees come to town. Now, I remember 2008. And listen, I get it that this team is not going to look anything like 2008. They're not going to win as many ball games. They're probably not going to compete for a World Series. I certainly don't see it. Maybe something changes and they're more competitive. But for me right now, to imagine them even coming close to a World Series is not – it's a pipe dream at best. So I don't feel like it's going to get a whole lot better on the field. But regardless – for me, there's a new ownership group. I feel like there's a new energy around the team, even though the team's not playing all that well. I'd really like to see Rays fans come out and support the team, regardless of how they're playing, support the ownership, who everybody's always said, oh, get rid of Stu, well, they got rid of Stu, right? Mostly. They got rid of Stu mostly. So I think it is a time to support the team. And you know what? I'd love to see tomorrow night and moving forward, but especially tomorrow night, when the Yankees come into town, we know how obnoxious their fans can be. Shut them up. I've seen it before. I know it's possible. I've watched this fan base. And again, yes, it was during a season where they eventually went on to go to the World Series. So it was a very different year on the field. But I remember so distinctly, because I remember I got here in 06, right? I started covering the team almost immediately. And 06 and 07, I watched where it was almost completely the opposing fan, right? As far as the noise in the building. And then 08, everything changed in the spring. Everything changed in the spring with that fight with the Yankees. It energized the team. It energized the fan base. And I remember it didn't take long that year, and the Rays started out hot. They were in first place throughout almost the entirety of that season. But I remember so many times being at the game and hearing the Yankees fans start to chant and cheer, and all of a sudden they would be drowned out by Rays fans booing them.
I got to be honest.
I want to hear that again. I want to see fans shut opposing fans up again.
I don't know if that's possible, Pat.
Because I just told you it's possible.
No, that was 08. That was a different year. That was a novelty. That was something that Rays fans had never experienced before. That was new. They were charged up. They're not charged up right now. There's no reason for them to be charged up right now. They're not playing good baseball.
Be charged up about the organization, even if you can't be charged up about the team. Be charged up about being a good fan and shutting up opposing fans, even if the team's not what we want it to be.
It's a nice thing to say. It's a pipe dream. It's never going to happen because it's just the reality. If you watch the Chicago Cubs come into town and you get drowned out by Chicago Cubs, and now you got the Yankees down the street. You got a lot of New Yorkers here.
But
once
it's happened.
again,
It's happened before.
it's
So
not. When was the last time?
it's been a couple of years. Yeah,
Okay.
it's been a while.
So, do you expect it to happen this series?
No.
No, it's
but
not.
I'd like it to.
It's almost impossible. You couldn't if you tried. That was the thing that was frustrating. And my gosh, it's got to be so. I felt it.
Did you hear anybody try? Did you hear anybody start booing when they started chanting?
Yeah,
for the
I heard
Cubs?
people try to out next to me like, let's go cut. Then they're let's go Rays. They're trying to drown it out. It doesn't work. And it's frustrating for any fan that is there, because I was there, and anyone that spends money and is donning a Rays jersey or a Rays hat, and you have to listen to the opposing team and the fans come in there and drown you out. That is frustrating as hell. And it's even more so when it's the New York Yankees and they're your division rival, and it feels like a home game for them. It sucks, and I know it's nice to value an effort, Pat. I don't think there's anything you can do about it.
Well, listen, maybe you want to do something about it if you're a Rays fan. Maybe if you're out there tomorrow night, maybe if you bring some friends, maybe you decide to go when you weren't going to go. Maybe this is a good time to try to get behind this team because, listen, again, it's not like the season's over because they've pretty much stunk for the first 3-4 series. 3 of the 4, at least, they've lost 2 games apiece. Tomorrow night, if they can, you just said, like, if they can beat up on the Yankees. I don't see beating up on the Yankees, but if you can beat the Yankees in this series, the rest of the month kind of plays out well for the Rays, right? Like, after the Yankees and their stupid fans come into our building, the Rays are off to Chicago to play the White Sox. Then they've got Pittsburgh. Then they come home for the Reds and the Twins, and then they finish off the month of April with 3 in Cleveland. The Chicago White Sox, the Pittsburgh Pirates, the Cincinnati Reds, the Minnesota Twins, the Cleveland Guardians. That is not a murderer's row. If you can start to play some better baseball against New York, maybe, just maybe, the rest of the month plays out okay for this team. And you're going to need it to.
The Reds are playing good baseball, good pitching, and some of those teams that didn't look as good before the season are looking a little bit better now. The Pittsburgh Pirates, with some of the moves they've made.
This still should not be a schedule that's like
it's not murderer's row.
If we can't get through the rest of April playing pretty good baseball, write the season off, dude.
Yeah,
write the season off. I know these guys are playing some better baseball. I don't care. You've got to be able to beat someone.
They're not behemoths.